Stanley Brothers Farms run a highly productive piggery, cropping and cattle fattening operation. They were winners in both the soil management and agri-science categories in the 2020 Taranaki Balanced Farm Environment Awards. Over the past 30 years, the family-owned business has invested heavily in on-farm and community infrastructure, as well as environmental protection measures to future-proof their operation. We visited at the end of spring 2020 to see how they're adapting to a changing farming and regulatory environment.
We're on the back left-hand corner of our farm, looking out here onto Tasman Sea. Our farm is surrounded by the main road, Arrawater Road and the cliff top, and with our boundary on the other side. Here is part of where we've working with the Department of Conservation for our wetlands. They've got some special plants and butterflies that nest here. We fenced it off and just help them however we can. It's just really letting it go back to nature, because the land that we're standing on here was all originally Rapu swamp. So it's been all drained and everything, but the amount of water that comes out of our sand dunes, which is just behind us, is phenomenal. So that's what feeds the swampy area and the wetlands, and then we've got nice good pasture here on the cliff top. Back in 2018 we looked at the shed, and it was 32 years old rotary, 24 bale. We're milking 270 cows, and we just thought, well, we want to extend the piggery, so that was encroaching on too close to the cow shed. So we looked at a costing of shifting the shed, which is anywhere between 1.2 and 1.4 million, into a central site, and then we tried to work out the cost advantage, where what we'd get out of that to extending the piggery and changing our farming system. So we had an in-milk sale on October the 8th, 2018. We've just gone to a grow, cut and carry, growing maize, hay, silage and that for surrounding farmers who wish to purchase off us. We've basically gone through a full 12 months without any dairy stock and sales input, with the 38 hectares of maize this year, hay and silage, and the beef we were running about 140 head of beef. We've just sold 100 2-year-olds, that's killable weights at 600 kgs live weight. And we've coming out to the budgets where we're not losing any money compared to dairying. It's very hard to judge that, whether you're working off a $4 payout or a $7 payout. So no, we're pretty happy where it sits at the moment, as far as financially anyways.
The whole area here is quite critical. It's very short of water, and that was why in 1970 the farmers around this area set up the old irrigation board. And with a piggery that needs substantial water and reliable water, it's crucial to our business, but it's a life-saving for all the other dairy farmers around us. I've been chairman of the Onui Water Supply Limited for the last 20 years. Onui Water Supply was developed after we divested the water scheme back from the South Taranaki District Council, and it's owned by 85 shareholders, and that is slowly reducing now as the farms amalgamate to about 45, 46. As shareholders, we supply the water from the dam, and it comes into the reservoir, and then it's piped to all our farmers. And the farmers then are rated on that water.
Righto, so word is that ship's been delayed, so we've got...
This is a 410 sow farrow to finish unit. We have a few main stages that transfer through this farm. So we start with our farrowing, and then from that point they have sows are farrowing the new batch in, but we're also weaning that Thursday morning. Then that following, we're going into the new nursery that's cleaned. Then from that position they go towards the weaner shed, and then they move to our grower shed for the final stage before they're sent to processing plant. So we can actually produce a pig on hook at a 75 kilo at 139 days. The key about doing this properly is the high quality feed that's going into them. The great part about having high quality feeds is a consistent product going out to the market. So we tend to not have variations in our animals going out on the farm. We're a 100% grain fed system here. We predominantly using barley, wheat and corn. We import and also use New Zealand grains as well. But we're, depending on the age of the pig, we've got a different diet formulated for them, but we tend to mill everything here ourselves. Nothing's made for us. We're taking products and blending them to our specific requirements. Like every farm, we have a byproduct. So our effluent is actually stored in a pond. We have about 2.5, 3 months storage capacity if we turn the irrigator off. Our effluent is transferred via underground pipes to a travelling irrigator, so we can control our effluent spreading wherever we choose. And we're also in the process of covering our ponds for biogas and trying to see if we can run majority of the farm on biogas energy. So there's one big challenge that we're facing is that 60% of pork consumed in New Zealand is imported. And the trouble we're finding is that it's not following the same animal code that we are. Our standards are much higher than what the rest of the world is bringing into us. So our biggest concern is that we're investing in making these changes, but we are competing against imports that are just struggling, or they're just beating us, and it doesn't make any sense. I think country of origin labelling is going to help. It's also, as pig farmers producing high quality product at a good price, it's just going to help that situation as well, because if they get a great experience with our pork, we're going to have them coming back again. And that's what I want, and that's what all of us want.